What's up, GP? Tidbits of Audacity coming at you for a new episode. That's Granger. There will be a test on that in a little while. We're repping some. Come on, Cedar City.
I got, I happen to wear this, so I want to give a little shout out to Cedar City Brewing Company. It's a Lebanon joint. Me and my wife love going there. They got a burger of the month. They got some good beers. They got seasonal beers, regular beers. It's a good place. We like doing it. It's at the Square, Lebanon. But shout out to Cedar City. It's a good little local joint.
We had a beer there, me and you.
Yeah, we did.
It was awesome.
It's good food too.
Like that place. They got good food.
Like I said, they got the burger of the month, so I love going there. It's always something different. One month it was Big Mac, but one month it was like the Berea burger, which was amazing. Oh, dude. And they had like a Greek burger, the Oktoberfest burger, all kinds of stuff. It's good. Anyway,
we ain't gonna talk about
my shirt's not cool. It's just my kid doing gymnastics.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
but he was good at gymnastics.
He was good.
There you go.
Was
yeah. What's been going on?
We're doing the burger. Are we going straight into this?
Want some bourbon?
Yeah, let's do bourbon.
Let's do bourbon.
This is admittedly not as good as Stag.
Man, that's pretty. I'll be straight. I was pretty impressed for a non-bourbon guy.
Man.
I thought for sure you were bringing out Crown Royal. Yes. I was like,
Jack Daniels.
Yeah, I was like, what did he just bring out? I've never heard of Crown Royal before. No, I'm kidding.
This is Blanton's Gold. So,
okay,
Buffalo Trace's Blanton's is considered the first single barrel. They're the original single barrel. Blanton's got popular. They love to be crapped on now. People love it because it's like it was the thing, right? So whenever you're the thing, then everybody hates on you because you're the thing. So, and admittedly, like I said, Stag is better. There are some others that are better, but this is hard to get. I haven't even opened it yet. It's still sealed and everything. So we're going to bust this thing open. I've got 3 of these, so I figure I got to open one. So I'm like, you know what?
Nice.
Let's bust it open. So it's gold. It's a little higher proof than the original. The original's 93 proof. This one's, I think, 90 to 93, somewhere in that range. I can't remember exactly. This one's 103 proof. So a little bit stronger, a little bit more rye in it. But I've had it. It's very good. So I thought, you know what?
Oh, here it comes, y'all. Blanton Gold. Released to the masses.
Yeah, man, that's the good stuff. Wait, that's not good.
No.
And I'm a big nerd, so I have the whole set of these. Each one of these has a letter on it, and it spells out Blanton. So this is a T. You can see the little T on the man's back right leg. So he's got a T. So I got him spelled out with the regular Blantons. So I have it spelled out on my
that's cool
cabinet. Here you go, John. But
I am the bartender.
I think I'm going to start working on gold. All right. So thought we'd pull something fun out.
Do your other two have different letters?
I don't know. I hadn't even pulled them out of a box. I pulled this out of the box to bring it here, so it's a good question.
Dang, dude.
I didn't know if you. Okay. I don't know if you can you see it without opening it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can pop the top because it sticks out at the top. Okay. In fact, it was funny when I bought it at the liquor store the other day. They actually had a sign on it that says, "If you tear the box looking for the letter, the box is yours," and, along with the whiskey. So I thought it was pretty funny.
Dang, you trying to take advantage of me?
I don't know what I'm pouring, dog.
Trying to get me to stand on top of the table here, and
it felt like when I poured Adams, it was nothing. So I poured more, and I was like, "Well, like a lot actually."
Trying to get me to take my hoodie off. What are we doing?
I don't know what's happening.
So, clean toast.
Yeah, here's to tiny handles and mayhem. I don't know. I don't have a clean. I don't
have a clean one.
Oh, go.
Oh, you done with him? If I say it, can you have to bleep it out?
Okay. Well, I don't have one. I did. I had
to people who can come up with clean.
Yes, to people who can come up with these.
I tell you what. Hey, give us some. Give us some clean.
There it is.
Give us some clean
toast. Cheers.
That's terrible that we have to ask people to do that.
But hey, jump in, chime in. Please give us a
toast.
Send it to us. TidbitsofAudacity@gmail.com.
I don't have any at all. I say clean. I don't get any. That's a good bourbon. But Blanton's is my favorite of all the things. Blanton's is, to me, where it's at. People disagree. He's chewing it.
I have to.
Really? I thought that was smooth.
I have to.
That's the smoothest Stag.
It's still bourbon.
Yeah, but you like Stag. You
that was a little different. I think I did the same thing. I think I just kind of suffered through the first thing.
Yeah, well, it does take a couple.
And then I came in, Although, no, you're right. I think Stag was still so good.
Yeah.
What's funny, Stag's a lot hotter.
It was 120, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, see, that was
That's
like
good.
Yeah, I'm following the advice of the pros.
Adam's more the pro. I like it. But.
Oh no, I hang out with guys that they go way far. There's stuff out there that are like huge.
That reminds me,
bourbons I couldn't
y'all.
take.
We should get my buddy on sooner or later. That's what just literally like it's a side hustle.
With bourbon or
He's a bourbon guy.
Okay,
In
nice.
fact, I think that's the name of his Instagram handle. It's like that bourbon guy or something like that.
oh, the guy you
And
talked
bourbon
about.
companies send him. They send him bourbon to try.
He would be one to tell you.
Get him to bring one.
Put it this way, he doesn't care for Pappy.
Pappy is one, and I know where he's coming from. Pappy is one that is overhyped and under delivered. Now I have the 12 year. The 12 year is good. The problem with bourbon. Okay, let's talk bourbon for a second. When you talk about Scotch whiskey, people love to talk about Scotch. Oh, this Scotch is 25 years aged. Well, part of the problem with Scotch is it's always using a barrel that's been used, right? So what happens is you put you do all the filtering. I won't go through all the boring process, but you basically get it, and it's clear. The liquor is clear when it goes into the barrel. The coloring like that is from the barrel. So during the seasons, it gets hot, and the barrel expands, which comes into the liquor, right, or into the whiskey. And then when it gets cold, the barrels contract, which comes out. So it kind of gives it a second to breathe, right? And you do that over and over again over 7-8 years, and that's how you develop because that's where all the notes are coming from, right? It's got a recipe, how much corn, rye, and all these different things, wheat. But a lot of the flavors of when they talk about the vanillas and the cherry and all this other stuff, that's coming from the wood, right? And so bourbon, I mentioned this, I think the last podcast. There is laws but laws that describe what can be bourbon. So there's certain things you have to do in order to be able to call it bourbon by law. Crazy. So one of the things is it has to be used in a barrel that's never been used. That's bourbon, right? So bourbon's used in a barrel that's fresh. This is fresh wood, like in however years. So with all that in mind, when it comes to bourbon, 12 years is about it, right? You're soaking up there. It's super strong. Like there's a lot. Like you got a lot going on there. They will sometimes take it out and put it into another barrel for like another 6 months. They'll do it like 8 years to do that. They call it double oaked, and there's several like that. That's fine as long as it had never been used, right? It can still be considered bourbon. Sometimes they put it into a barrel that was used by sherry or cognac or something. It's no longer bourbon. Now it's whiskey. Scotch isn't that way. Scotch, so you got to think with Scotch, the barrel's been used. So it takes them a lot longer to get a lot of the same flavors. So that's why Scotch can be good at 20 years, whatever. Pappy, I say all this to say, Pappy has a 25-year bourbon, 22, I don't know exactly. People talk about how great it is. I can't see how it's good. Because to be bourbon sitting in a barrel for 20-something years, that same barrel, at some point there's diminished returns, plus it's overdone. And that's Pappy's thing. To me, Pappy's all about overdone, in my opinion. So that's a really 3-minute dissertation as to why I say it's not.
Sure. Is there a significant difference between 10 and 12 in your palate?
With the Pappy, yes. The 10's the one you shot like cheap tequila.
Right.
But I don't think it was that good. I didn't think it was a very good bourbon. The 12 I think was great.
Oh, well,
that's just me personally.
So that extra 2 years bought a lot of flavor.
That, and I don't know enough about it to know the recipe may be different. Because the 10's technically called Old Van Winkle. 12 is Pappy Van Winkle. That could be marketing. I don't know.
Well, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but Eagle Rare and E.H. Taylor are the same recipe.
Same recipe.
But 7 and 10, right?
That
right?
And there are different places in the warehouse.
But the
same
it's
recipe.
the same recipe, but it's just E.H. Taylor's aged longer.
Yes.
So we could, I like E.H. Taylor better than you. I like Eagle Rare.
I like them both.
E.H. better.
I like E.H. Taylor.
Yeah, that's the one you liked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember it's one
I can't tell a huge difference. I can tell slight.
Yeah.
Maybe the 3 years is the difference. Now, Blanton's has a completely different recipe. It's got their own. And these are all from the same distillery.
Oh, well, that is smoother than the regular to me.
I agree.
Yeah, that is
even
better.
though it's higher proof.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's still better.
So, but yes, E.H. Taylor. That's something that most people don't know. Is E.H. Taylor and Eagle Rare are the exact same recipe to a T. Same everything except for the length of time and where you get them from the warehouse.
You got anything going on in your world these days?
No, man.
No.
Yeah, I do. I don't know. I just live life and I try to.
Bro, you always got something going on.
I was listening to the radio. Shout out to 106.7. I love it. 1067 is like, it came around, I think 3 years ago. It's just 90s, or now it's like mid 80s to about mid 2000, by 2005. Country music, that's what it is. And that's all they play. It's mainly 90s, obviously, but then they expanded a little bit. But I was listening to it, and I started thinking, I don't know why. That's all I listened to, so that's all I did. When you listen to the same things over and over again, you start listening to it differently. And so I started thinking about Tim McGraw's Live Like You Were Dying song. And he's talking to this guy, right? And who's not him. Like, you think that's him talking. It ain't him. He's talking to this guy. This guy's telling him the story. I don't know. And I imagine his name was like Greg or like Chet or something. Like, he just, like, that's the kind of guy that's like, I rode a bull for 1 second and I went skydiving. Like, that's a Greg, to me. But he at one point in that song, he mentions that he went fishing 3 times the year he lost his dad. And I was like, dog, do you have time for anything else? You went fishing 3 times in a full year? Could you even play with your kid that year? Like, did your dad die on December 28th? Like I was like,
did you have time to poop?
You went fishing 3 times? Get out, dude. I don't know how you had time to do anything else. I thought that was weird. Then I started listening, but then
December 20th.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Did your dad die late December? Then I started thinking about, I started listening to, I love Ronnie Millsap.
Oh yeah, that's my guy right there.
He's got the good songs.
You ever seen his house, by the way?
I have not seen his house.
Ready?
Neither has he.
But he has a good song. I like "Stranger in My House." Is that what it is?
Stranger in my house.
Yeah, and he's got another one that's bigger than that.
He's got a.
Yeah, terrible. They're really great. I heard one for the first time the other day, and it was called.
Was it sung by 615? Because I did 615 did a song.
Did you?
That not many people heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Random. I mean, they do still play hits on 1067, but this one is called "Daydreaming About Night Things."
Yep. I'm having daydreams about night things in the middle of the afternoon. That's it.
What are you daydreaming about, Ronnie?
Bro.
What are you thinking about, big dog?
Bro.
Are you?
Him and Joycey, man.
Hey, Ron, what you got there? What you got there, Ron? What you thinking about, Ron? What are you daydreaming about, dog? What is he daydreaming about? I love my man, Ron.
There's another
love my
fair
man,
question.
Ron.
He's saying night things and day things. How does he know?
Is he daydreaming about feeling? Is he feeling like, I don't get it? Like, I don't know. I was listening to the song and I was just laughing going down the road. Like, what are you dreaming about, Ronald? I don't know.
So let's pontificate. What do you think he was thinking about? I actually have to know a lot of things.
He has to be daydreaming about feeling. Then it's like, but he don't see nothing. So it's like, what you got in your pants there, Ron? You happy to see me? Or you he's like, oh my bad, sorry. I was daydreaming about night things again. Sorry. like, what are you doing? What are you got going on over there? I don't know. That's what I think. Like, what are you
dreaming about?
What are you daydreaming about, Ron? Sorry, I was daydreaming about night things again.
I mean, him and Joycey, man, they were inseparable. They would walk around just licking each other's face, be like, y'all need to get a room, and I'd be at his house.
Face?
Yeah, no, you have a lot of stories about him. A lot of good stories.
Be at his house watching them kiss, and you want to say get a room. It's like he's at his own house. I need to go.
Yeah, I need to leave.
Yeah, there's a lot of great stories about Ronnie. One of my favorites, probably, I'll just tell one. One of my favorites is, so I got to sing back up on a. He was doing a song celebrating like the anniversary of the Grand Ole Opry. Now I don't remember what year, maybe like the 80th anniversary or something like that of the Grand Ole Opry. And they had a bunch of different artists sing like one song, and I think they were all like gospel songs. I'm almost positive. And so I came in to do backgrounds for that, and we get done. It was like 4 or 5 of us because they wanted kind of like that choir sound, and so they just had us sing like 2 or 3 times and then made it sound like it was a choir. And everybody left except me because Ronnie Ronnie's producer is Rob Galbraith, which was my producer. So Rob was like, stick around, hang out with us. I'm like, awesome. Thank you. Okay. And there's thick carpet and a soft couch, and there's a huge room where they're mixing after when we get done recording. And I'll quietly, and I'm talking about like a mouse. And anybody that knows me, my wife will attest to this. I'm a very light walker. You don't know I'm coming. Okay. So I'm walking. I'm gonna do I gotta do it. So
That's like look.
Let's just
It's like the look on Jonathan's face on that. So
I can't look at Jonathan when I tell this story. I'm gonna start talking to Adam
because Jonathan over thinking he believes this.
So that's not at all why he just winked. All right.
Sorry, Kenny.
In case y'all didn't hear,
saw me wink.
we have. I did. We have. Why do you think I laughed? We have microphones. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I get in there all quiet, and I'm sitting in the back of the room. I sit down on this soft couch slowly and carefully because I don't really want them to think I'm there. I want to be a fly on the wall and just watch this awesomeness, right? So you got Rob Galbraith, the producer. You've got Mark, who's an engineer, an amazing engineer, and you got Ronnie in the room, and they start to mix this song we were just doing. Okay, so here we go, and I'm back here watching them talk about what they're mixing and enjoying this. And then they start arguing. Well, I don't think this. Well, I think that. Well, I don't think. And Rob goes, let's just ask Granger. He's here. He goes, wait, Ronnie, did you know Jason Granger was here? And Ronnie goes, yeah, I know. He's sitting right there on the couch. And he pointed right to where I was sitting in the back of a ginormous room. And I was like, oh, my God. I said, I tried to be super quiet. And he goes, you can't be too quiet for Ronnie. He'll know you're here. And then they start telling. And Ronnie goes, he goes, yeah. He goes, I don't even want to tell, but Rob, tell him about the time. And Rob goes, oh, yeah. And he starts telling the story about the time that a guy said, can you really hear as well as everybody says you can? And he said, do you have a room in your office that has like tile floor? And he goes, yeah. He goes, let me come into it. So he goes into the room, goes to the middle of the room, does 2 stomps and a clap, and then goes, there's a chair right there, there's a couch over here, and there's a love seat over there. And he was like, boom.
That's crazy.
He knew, based on the way the waves went, how far they went and how far they came back, he could picture it in his mind and knew exactly what was in that room. That blew my mind. If you just talk about the fact that he was partially blind in one eye, fully blind in another, this is a little dark, but he was abused by an orphanage, a lady in an orphanage that he was sent to because his mom thought that he had demons in him because he was blind, so she sent him to an orphanage and didn't raise him. And while in this orphanage, they beat him so bad that they beat the other one fully blind. And so that's why he's actually fully blind. He would sneak out of this place, go out to a junkyard, found pieces, put them together, and built a radio so that he could listen to WSM while in North Carolina.
That's kind of cool.
Blind. That's crazy.
How about that? And of course, then comes all the talent and the piano and everything else. Blows your mind. Like, he did what?
That's crazy.
And then, of course,
I love Ron.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I was just making a joke at something.
Oh, of course.
I love Ronnie Millsap. Yeah. He's one of my favorite, actually.
Yeah, it does make you think, because there's one thing he will tell you. Actually, he told us one time that he struggles. All people that are blind struggle with this. That they struggle with what night and day is, because to them it's all the same. And your melatonin gets released by visual perception.
Right.
So your melatonin's released when it gets dark, and then slight cortisol levels raise when it gets light. And when you don't have that perception, your brain never knows when to release what, so you don't release all the right chemicals at the right time. So they struggle immensely with what's night. They'll be up all night not knowing it. They don't have any idea what a lot of the time. So they just have to get into like a real cyclical pattern. But then you think he's doing shows late at night. You're ramped up after you're doing a show. You want to stay up. His sleep schedule was like go to bed at 6 a.m. kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so he has like he's always struggled with that. Well, all people struggle with that, but particularly because he was a performer, the night day thing. So that's actually where my brain went when you were talking about daydreaming about night things. My brain was like, "What's night?"
Right.
Like
when he's not around, I guess. When he's just hanging with the boys.
Just hanging with the boys. No, he's definitely my favorite blonde white country singer. He's very good.
One. I think. I don't know.
Jason's ever going. Okay.
I was putting the math together, and I was like, well, yeah, blind white country singer. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I was actually trying to think of another one. And he wasn't country. The guy I'm thinking of, he was rock. Jeff Healey.
Oh yes,
he was rock. You don't know who Jeff Healey is? Gonna ride tonight, stars above.
Well, I had to say white only because Ray Charles did some country.
Seven Angels.
That's correct.
What was it?
But he wasn't country either.
He wasn't country.
He wasn't country.
He
But
was
he did one with Willie Nelson, the Seven Angels something. What was it?
He's not a bunch. What are you talking about?
Oh, the only one I know. Okay. I only know
Are we
one.
talking about Ray Charles right now?
Country?
Oh, when he did country.
Yeah.
You're right. It was probably only seven Spanish.
He's done a couple. Like I say, he's
True,
not a country
true
singer.
story. That happened because Ronnie wasn't available. Willie had Ronnie doing that. True story.
Oh.
So he's one of the blind guy.
He just wanted to
What
block
we had. He just needed.
Give me the guy that can't see. I need a guy. Stevie
You
Wonder
said
out. Okay. Ray Charles no.
Rob down the street, can't do it.
Rob down the street.
Blind Bob, nope.
Can we settle on Ray Charles? Fine. All right.
Yeah. That's actually what happened. He had something come up. Somebody asked him to go do something, and he said, "I can't make it." And Willie was like, "I'm doing this anyway." And he was like, "Well, then I think, or it was Ray Charles. One of them was already doing it, and we're like, I'm gonna do this anyway. So I'm just calling somebody else, and they just called, and that's how Willie and Ray Charles ended up in the room.
Great song. I like that song too.
Yeah, I think that might be the only one that he did that country. He did. You know, Georgia was more of a crooning song, kind of old jazzy crooning song, and then of course he had all the Motown stuff. I got a woman, you know. So, yeah, there's that. Whew.
Which, speaking of Willie Nelson, my favorite meme, where people are like, "I hope my bills aren't very high," and then they show a picture of Willie Nelson with Snoop Dogg. You're like,
Bills that high,
Super high.
super high.
yeah, you got Willie Nelson and Snoop Dogg. It's like, yeah.
Jonathan, did I read somewhere that you had something you were willing or wanting to talk about?
Oh, not really. I just
Well, then never mind.
I've been
Adam. So anyway, what are you doing?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it turns into anything. I just thought it was. I've been, I don't get on social media a lot, but when I do, it's I don't know. I think I get like, I get viral videos. It seems like I get like the same thing over and over again, and the next day it'll be a different subject. What I've been seeing a lot lately is ADD and ADHD people.
Just pick a letter. Pick a letter.
MTL and 7XZ.
ISS. That
These
was my
people?
away from home.
Yeah. They like. It's like they try to gatekeep everything.
Who is they?
ADD and ADHD people. They I see several videos in a row where they're like, "Oh, went peed today. So ADD of me." Like, you don't get to say oh, I ate a bowl of cereal today. That's so ADD of me. Like, no, we all eat bowls of cereal. Like, you're not ADD because you ate a bowl of cereal. Like, I see that all the time. Like, why is this a thing? Like, oh, I went for a jog today. Oh, so ADHD of me. Like, no, it's not. Everybody goes for jogs. Like, everybody's ADD now. Then, if that's the case, like, anyway, what?
It reminded me of
I hate
Chris D'Elia. When Chris D'Elia goes, "Don't you hate it when drunk girls go, you texted me and that's so random?" And he's like, "No, that's not random. I ate a monkey wearing a leather coat. That's random."
Is this your crocodile?
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Like, that's random. It's like that's kind of what you're like. You don't get to claim this.
I see it all the time. I'm like, you guys, we don't. Oh, I drink bourbon. Oh, that's so ADD in me. No, it's not. Everybody drinks bourbon. You're not ADD. You're not special because you did this. Like, oh, we're the group that does this. No, everybody does that. It's like, why everybody ADD? Because they did this. Because they mopped the floor today.
It reminds me of the time Wyatt was 3 or 4, and he starts to tell a story. He's like, "Papa, at school the other day, I was doing it, and squirrel." And I was like, "That's crazy." And I looked over, and there was a squirrel, a literal squirrel that got his attention. So I didn't know. Is that ADD? I don't know. It was a little squirrel. Like
My wife did that. We were going down the road, and she just randomly says, "Chicken coop." And I was like, "Chicken?" I was like, "What?" And I think she was telling a story. She interrupted herself. The chicken coop. And I was like, "Yeah, that's chicken coop. Yeah, you're right."
Wow.
Anyway, are you going to finish? She's like, "I don't remember what I was saying."
Jennifer did that the other night. She interrupted herself. She's telling a story and then interrupts herself and then goes, "What was I saying?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "I don't know, because you interrupted yourself."
but anyways,
Yeah. That's the famous one. What do you think about all that? Before I get going, because I might get going.
you asking me because you think I'm ADD.
That is not why I'm asking you. I'm asking you so that I don't
I'm what?
monopolize the conversation.
I thought you were ad.
What's that?
You're ADAM.
What we talking about?
Adam.
He's playing you.
Yeah.
I'm asking you because I don't want to hijack the conversation.
No, you're good. I'm just having fun. I think what you're describing is just people want to be a part of something and have something to be able to hang their hat on as a disability or something that they struggle. Like everybody's got, we've glorified victimhood so much that everyone wants to be a victim of something. And so it's why white crazy women love to have transsexual kids, because then they're now put themselves on an oppression ladder, and it has nothing to do with the kid's well-being. It has everything to do with wanting to be seen as I'm oppressed, or I'm a victim because I have some child with a affliction, right?
Yeah.
I don't mean to get too serious, but yeah, that's
No,
what
but
it
I mean
is.
that's part of it.
That's
I mean
that's what it boils down to.
To me, that's what I think it is. It's like a club. Like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
part of a club now. Like we all sit around and glue pictures to the wall. No, that's called that's
scrap
arts and crafts, yo. Like that, everybody does that. Like, you know, like I don't know. That's what I thought. I thought it's just somebody trying to be part
that's
of
what it is.
part of a club.
They want to have something that can hang their hat on. Is I'm struggling in life because of this.
That's a disability, which I wouldn't say that. Even if people are diagnosed with it,
I'd say 5.
I wouldn't say it's a disability, but
5%, 5 to 10% of people, Mr. Counselor Guy will disagree, but I think about 5 to 10% are actually probably ADD that are diagnosed ADD.
right.
And about 0% of the people who go around claiming it all over the place is probably
true.
All right, you ready? So
I disagree.
yeah, couple of numbers. Let's see. First one to go with is the current stats. The latest ones we have is 2023. The current stats are 15% of boys age 3 to 17 have a diagnosis of ADHD. About less than 10 years ago, that number was 6%.
I'm actually surprised it's that low. 15. Truth be told.
No, well, here's the. I hear
would think
you,
it'd be
but
higher.
it's.
There's probably a lot of self-diagnosis.
Well, yes.
Think about
but
this:
even
6 to
official, right?
15
No, that's crazy.
in
Yes.
10 years.
I'm not dismissing
Did we
that.
more than double a disorder, or have we jacked up diagnosis?
Yes. And yes.
See, so that's boys. Girls are around 8.8. It's actually 8.8%. So
You sure it's that? I mean, it's not 8.9.
I literally wrote an article last night
It could be 8.8.
Good timing then.
It could be
About
8.85.
and covered that because here. So I was responding to an article where a guy said 8.8% of adults have a diagnosis, and I went, huh. And he goes, here's the link, and I went to the link, and it said 8.8% of girls between the age of 3 and 17. I'm like, why did you say adults? So he just gave a wrong. I guess he didn't think anybody was going to actually click on it.
I've been there, man.
And I clicked on it and I went, that's dead wrong. You just gave us the wrong thing. What are we doing right now? First problem. Turns out 6% of adults are diagnosed with ADHD. And it's lower in adults for a whole lot of reasons. But the main reason is you outgrow a lot of the symptoms. The symptoms that you see in children, you don't see in adults because they grew up. It's really all it kind of amounts to. The average number in children is around, it kind of balances to around 12%. And diagnosis. But think about that though. So diagnosis, there's roughly an estimate of about 72 million children in America. So, and I don't have it in front of me, but like think about what that number is if you're going 8% or 15%. 15%, that's 5, I think it's 5 million, 5.4 actually. 5.4 million. Okay, again, I wrote this last night. It's the only reason I knew that number. I wrote this article.
5.3869.
I knew this. I'm not that smart. Y'all know that. I wrote this last night, and it's still in the brain. Boys, 15. It's 15%, and I think that ends up being 5 million boys. So, anyway, it's the answer to what y'all are talking about has kind of a lot of pieces, but the main piece is what I found when I did the digging. Let's just say it that way. When I did the digging, and I'll come back to the glorification that y'all were just mentioning, because that has a separate piece.
Glorification
Is the main main problem with the diagnosis is the DSM, which is Diagnostic Statistics Manual, which is basically how we diagnose. It gives us the criterion. If it fits, we diagnose.
Is eating a bowl of cereal part of it?
No.
Okay, just curious.
No.
Just want to make sure.
Peeing,
Those people were wrong.
Is breathing?
fishing, none of that's in. All right.
Three times or 4 times? Yeah.
Exactly. 3 times a year, fishing 3 times a year does not qualify.
I'm so ADD. My dad died. I'm so ADD.
Skydiving, I got ADHD. So within that criteria, with each DSM revision, so that we're up to edition 5 right now. With each edition, they literally took the criteria and went like this and broadened it and broadened it and broadened it to the point where basically, if you start to say something and you look away, diagnosis. We can diagnose you, basically. And now, at one point, it had to be severe. It had to be disruptive. It had to cause all kinds of things. They started with hyperactivity, then they added inattentiveness, and then they went, well, hyperactivity and inattentiveness is the same thing. Oh, and then they broadened it to just not being able to pay attention at all. And then they broadened it to, I think it just kept going. And it got worse and worse and worse, and that's what the article says. So by the time
to eat a bowl of cereal.
Yeah, by the time this airs, the article's available, so y'all can just go look it up on wherever I write. So it talks about what each DSM level did. What DSM 3 added a little bit, 4 added a little bit, and by the time we got to 5, which was released in 2013, it was wide open. It's the same thing with autism. It was like wide open. If you don't look somebody in the eye, autism. If you turn your head, ADHD. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. And now the facts here, you gotta kind of stick to facts. And the facts are, you can't really get around that. That's what we have to use. We have to use this guide, what's called the DSM, as the criterion for diagnosing. Now, there's only 2 reasons you diagnose. If they need medication and for insurances. To bill insurance. That's it. That's the only 2 reasons you diagnose. If they don't need to bill insurance and they don't need a medication, you don't have to give them a diagnosis at all. And there's no reason to be perfectly honest. But that's the main reason why we have the prevalence. So that's how we got 6% to 15% was how DSM just kept opening it up and opening it up. And it's all really kicked off in 1987. That was when the DSM-3 revision happened.
A lot of crazy
things happened in 1987.
I hate that year.
Yeah. I mean, some really
Adam Sandler over here.
Oddly enough.
That's some high quality bourbon.
Quality bourbon.
So anyway, that's that. As far as the glorification thing, got to tell you a quick story. I told this one in an article not too long ago too. Was I had a client and she was talking about her son who was diagnosed with autism, and she said, I just wish that he was just looked at like every other person and not with a disease, and he just didn't even have a diagnosis. I said, wow, that's awesome. I said, well, then let's think about it then. What would his life be like, and what would your life be like if your son didn't have a diagnosis at all? Let's just imagine it for a second. And she goes, well, no, they said he had Asperger's. And I went, no, wait a minute. You just said you didn't want him to have a diagnosis, and when I suggested that he may not, and let's imagine it without, you immediately shifted to Asperger's, which is kind of the outlier of autism. Mm-hmm. It's subtle symptoms.
It's eccentric people wanting to be diagnosed.
Kind of. And I said, what I caught her in the cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
I caught her in this, if you don't have a diagnosis, what happens? And so then I said, well, wait a minute. You said you didn't want it. Now you're saying he should be Asperger's. Well, that's a diagnosis, and it's in the autism spectrum. It's ASD, autism spectrum disorder, is the umbrella, and all the things that fall underneath it. Asperger's being one of them. Well, which is it? I said, what is? And then she didn't really know to answer it, and so I had to follow up, and I said, let me ask you this: what is it about his diagnosis that makes you feel good?
I like it. Attacking it.
I just went right at it.
Yeah.
I was like, what is it about it that makes you feel like it's a good thing? And she said, it makes him special.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're getting somewhere. Now, I didn't say this to her. And I didn't, and I didn't, because this is super, super challenging. And in the moment and in the context, it didn't belong. But I was getting somewhere. It makes him feel special. That's why. Okay, so it makes him feel special. Does that? And then I followed it with, so does that make you feel like you're a good mother because you have a special kid, and it's kind of hard to raise a special kid? She goes, yes. She goes, I get a lot of love because of that. She admitted it. Okay, last piece, and I'll shut up, and we'll move to something else if you want to. Last piece of this: when they released DSM-5 for autism, they expanded it so wide, like I just mentioned. They expanded it so wide, and people were wanting an explanation. They're like, "My goodness, you have widened this so up. If I just can't look you, if I don't look you in the eye while I'm talking to you, I get a diagnosis and go get some medication. How in the world did we get here?" When they asked for an explanation from the authors, the answer they got was, we didn't want them to be stigmatized. That was the answer. Not neurology, not the brain, not chemistry, not chemicals flowing through your brain, not a misfire in neurons, none of that. Only we didn't want you to have your feelings hurt. So we broaden it so you would fit into it because you don't want your feelings hurt. That's the literal reason they changed the DSM-5 in 2013. Holy moly. That blew my mind when I saw that. When I read that, and I read it from the authors who are quoted saying that, my mind went, and I was like, okay, look, I have this phrase that I say. Adam, you're going to have to look this up. I say that I'm an iconoclast in a sea of groupthink minions.
Yeah, I got about 3 of those words.
Say it again. Me too.
I got like 3 of those.
I told you. I said one of my phrases I use a lot in writing formats is that I'm an iconoclast in a sea of groupthink minions.
Iconoclast.
It's spelled just like it sounds.
Spell that.
Icon. O.
I see. You. I see.
It's like the guy that doesn't have a watch on and goes,
how you gonna call me out like that?
that's so good. Icon O class, TLAST.
Okay, so I'm doing something here.
Okay.
Give me the phrase.
Iconoclast in a sea of groupthink minions.
Class and C.
That's some phrase that I use a lot.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Minions.
At least you got some life-saving devices for you. Bunch of inner tubes.
I'm going for more board.
Or you could say loner who thinks for himself, surrounded by blind followers.
Ooh, I like it. That's for us.
ChatGPT for the win. Yeah, that's for a simple. It's minions only.
I have a guy that follows me on Substack named Iconoclastic, and he is definitely that guy. Like, he's writing in upstream to mainstream thinking on a lot of areas, and that's one of them. Psychology is definitely one of those areas. And so I end up using it because he follows me, and because the people on Substack know exactly what I'm saying when I say it. But Iconoclast.
I think he's saying that the Substack people are educated, and us Facebook people are dumb.
It's not
educated.
That's not at all what I'm saying, but that's true. Sorry, it's sorry,
you said it.
but he said it. I didn't say it. No, the people that I interact with on Substack are a lot of them are like PhD, either professors or researchers or people like that. And that's just, so
you gotta talk like that.
A lot smarter than me, for sure. I'm like the idiot on Substack, which is fun. I like being the idiot on Substack.
That's me on Facebook.
Where?
That's me in life.
Ooh.
So, Anyway, and what that means, in essence is I'm good with just like when I hear stuff like that, it makes me go, I'm not going with status quo. We're not riding the same train. That's just not happening. Like I'm going a different direction, and ADHD is severely overdiagnosed. I read an article by a guy who tried to convince me, and I was open-minded to it because he's a good dude and he's trying his best. But he sent me something, and the best he came up with was that because there are X amount of Adderall prescriptions per year, it's underdiagnosed. And I'm like, that cannot be how you're basing your entire theory of over versus underdiagnosis of ADHD on the amount of Adderall prescriptions being written.
One particular medicine.
Yeah, just one.
Yeah.
Never mind that Vyvanse is also prescribed, amphetamine salts, behavioral therapy only, sometimes with no medicine, which is what I do. Like, come on. Oh, and I should tell this story. Unfortunately, Jonathan's already heard this story, but Adam hasn't, so I'll tell this story. And Adam, you can give your reaction to this. The other night, out of the blue, Colton is about to leave, and he turns and he says, "Hey, real quick." And I'm sitting out on the porch reading, and it's nighttime, and he's about to leave, and he goes, "Hey, I wanted to tell you something. I was talking to Ethan the other night, and we were talking, and we just kept interrupting each other." He goes, "But we knew what we were doing, and we knew what we were saying, and we never missed a beat. And it was like we would go off to the rabbit trail, come back, and just pick up right where we left off, and neither one of us even flinched through it." He goes, "But I was aware it happened." He goes, "And I've never been aware of that before." He goes, "And I realized that I feel like I still have ADHD, but mind you, I came into his life when he was 8. At 12, he stopped taking medicine. 11 or 12, he stopped taking medicine for ADHD." He said, "I feel like I still have ADHD based on that conversation with Ethan, where how they kind of kept rabbit trailing each other." He goes, "But I know how I'm aware of the symptoms, and I know how to regulate and suppress and control them because of the things you've taught me over the years." And I said, "Well, what's that?" And he started to talk about the instances of things that I would do to make him stop, go back, repeat the action, and make it an action that was societally acceptable. For instance, not interrupting. And it's not that small. It's a much bigger, broader thing. But okay, I'll give it real quick. He would when he wanted to say something to his mom, he'd be in a different room and he'd begin yelling the sentence to her as he's approaching the doorway to the room. And then he'd come in to find that we were talking and he's already interrupted us because he's screaming what he wanted to say as he was getting there. Because in his mind, he just has to say it now, And so he's saying, and I would stop him and go, "Stop, go back into the other room, turn around, come back through the door, not speaking, look to see if someone's talking, and then say what you want to say." And I made him do that. Every single time he did that, I made him repeat that action. Stop, go back, try it again. And that's because that became the command. The command was shortened to stop, go back, try it again. And what he had to do was he had to stop talking, go back into the other room, re-enter the room not talking, look to see if somebody's talking, don't interrupt, then make your statement. And I made him do it over and over again. And most people, this takes, I don't know how long, I'm not going to go into that. But for him, it took him almost 2 years to grasp. Stop, go back. And I did that for 2 years. Stop, go back, try it again. And he'd do it, and he'd do it. And eventually, literally 13, 14 years old, somewhere in there, he got it. And now he enters rooms, looks around, and goes, "Hey, Mom, let me tell you something." And then he starts talking. And he gave that as one example. He had a few, but that's one where we took the behavior, we reframed and reshaped the behavior with no medicine, and the symptoms, in his mind, was about 70% mitigated. ADHD symptoms. Now, come on. You're telling me you got to go get crystal meth in a pill form?
Well, that's like physical
therapy. To make that work?
Yeah, it sounds like physical therapy, if you will. Like, don't take drugs, just go work out, go exercise. Similar.
Right.
Like
doing the same thing?
Yeah, it sounds like more just like hey, try this route for a while instead of taking a pill.
Right.
That's what it sounds like.
And I'm so slow.
It sounds like it's a prescription in itself.
Right. Yeah. Right. And I'm just going to be, here's another iconoclastic moment. I'm slow to diagnose. I'm slow to label. I read research where labeling is, in a lot of cases, listen to this, research, labeling is worse than just not diagnosing. Like, I thought, but it's good that somebody did research on it. Labeling somebody, well, you have this, so this is who you are. well, you have this disease, so this is who you are. That label has been more detrimental to the mental health of boys and girls growing up than just not diagnosing them and just leaving it out and letting them live with it, or using, again, behavioral style therapy. So anyway, what's some of your reactions to that?
I've been labeled slow at the airport.
I've been labeled slow everywhere. When they put that sign up that said slow children, I was the one.
I rode the short bus.
Yeah, I drove the short bus.
I meant literally slow,
Hey,
but
yeah.
that's apropos as well.
Oh, you mean like you may be slow, but you're fat? Fat, but you slow? Wait, how you say that?
Yeah, I may be fat, but I'm slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. We stole that.
I just walk too slow in the airport. People complain.
So, at what point, like for anybody that doesn't know, I'm the youngest of 4. This is number 1, number 2. Number 3 is behind the camera.
Hey, by the way,
number 2.
Can you hold that thought?
I can try.
No, go ahead. No,
I might have ADD.
I can remember.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I can remember. In fact, I'm gonna write it down. Go.
Anyway,
go.
Me and Nate can relate to the fact that we can't ever get a word in edgewise. So I've learned to I've learned to have to tell stories in like 20 to 30 second intervals. Like I got to get to the point.
Dude, I wish I had that.
Or I'm gonna get. So Wilson's the same way. Mom's the same way. I had to tell the stories, and my ex-wife was the same way. I can tell the stories in a hurry, or I'll lose your attention.
My current wife is the same way.
So at what point? Actually, my current wife too. That's another thing I was gonna say. Like,
Chicken coop.
yes. Well. So you and her are the same way in the sense of like. Y'all have to be looking at something. You have to be doing something in order to listen.
That is so good. That is so good. That was so classic. You were saying it before you even realized he was doing it. That is a moment for the annals of history, bro. That was so perfect. That could have been more perfect.
I got embarrassed too. I don't get embarrassed very often.
Did you say you had ADD?
So Jenna's the same way. Jenna has to be. If Jenna's looking at you, she's not paying. She doesn't know what you're saying. But if she's over here doing this and doing this, she knows exactly what you're saying.
That is wild.
He's the same way. So I was curious.
That's such a good observation.
Sure, I don't know. Yeah,
that's a great observation.
At what
but it
point,
helps me pay for
what is a diagnosis? At what point is it a diagnosis? Because him and Jenna are very similar, just in general. And that's one of the things they have in common is that they can't be looking at you really. They have to be doing something or looking away in order to listen to you. And I come back to the fact that I got about 20 seconds before I lose y'all. Before y'all are like, you doing this number?
Unless I'm fidgeting. If I'm fidgeting, I'm listening.
I've got
true.
Now here's something about that. Okay, let me not to go on a tangent, but I am aware of that. And people that don't know me well, I consciously think I need to look up in the eyes when they're talking because they'll think I'm not paying attention. Yeah. Whereas I'm looking at them, I'm probably struggling to pay attention because now I'm thinking I need to look up in the eye and I'm not hearing what they're saying. Yeah. So yeah, that's just sidebar. That's something I struggle with.
Yeah.
Truth be told.
I mean, I'm sure Jenna does too. She, I don't know. It's with you. You look in the eye, but you start going. Like you're really like I gotta zone in and listen. You start doing that. I don't know if that's you. I'm just hypothesizing right here. I don't know if that's you trying to pay attention or that you really trying to analyze.
It's both.
He's looking through you.
It's both.
Yeah, because I see sometimes
I've gotten
you
good
look
at listening,
and I go,
than I used to be.
I think I'm losing them right now. So I gotta finish the story.
Yeah, I've gotten better than I used to be at listening because that's my job. I have to sit and listen to people all day.
Sure,
so I have to zone in. Yeah.
Well, I make light of it, but my question is, at what point is it a diagnosis? Do you know? I mean, is that a thing? Like I know, and from what you just said, it's more of like a
quirk.
It's more of like a how you feel, and how the parent feels, or how the adult feels.
There's criteria.
It's about how much the drug company can make.
Sure, I don't doubt that at all.
Sorry, Jason, I did it right there. But
no, go ahead.
That's my rant.
Is what? Say it again.
It always comes back to how much the drug company wants to make. on pharmaceuticals.
Sure,
that's what, to me, 90% of all these diagnoses they can sell a drug.
Yeah, there's
That's my rant that I'll absolutely die on.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
You want to hear the name of the article? Again, by the time this airs, it'll already be out, but it's called Another Disorder Habituating Drugs, ADHD. That's the name of the article. There you go. It says what you just said.
Comes out tomorrow. I mean, it was 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. Tomorrow, 3 weeks ago.
I mean, 6 months ago. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Back in October before Halloween.
Yeah.
It came out way long ago.
Real quick, and I'll come back to this. Actually, I can't do two things at one time.
Is that?
I was doing 3 things today.
Is that a diagnosis?
Is that one?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was doing 3 things today at work, and none of them did well.
None of them did well.
I didn't do any of them well.
I don't know if I can do 2 things, but it can't be 2 important things.
All right.
It's not that.
I know a lot of people who did not get their kids tested and diagnosed because they didn't want the stigma of the diagnosis on their kid. They didn't want the kid stuck with, hey, you got Asperger's, or you're on the spectrum, or you're whatever the case may be, because they weren't full-blown autistic, right? Because there's nonverbal autistic, and that to me is autistic. Like,
right.
That's different.
Yeah.
Than somebody who may be what they call on the spectrum or Asperger's or something to that effect. Sometimes it's just quirks.
Yeah.
Like my third born, when he was 2, we were leaving the hotel and he had all these horses, and then all of a sudden we looked and he couldn't leave until he had all the horses lined up, shortest to tallest. I was like, and I looked at that and I'm like, oh, we got one of those on our hands. Yeah, about that, he's just quirky. He's just kind of OCD and he just likes things to wear a certain way. And he ain't autistic, he ain't spectrum, he ain't nothing. He's just goofy.
And that kind of comes to what he was saying. Like, we noticed for years he wouldn't look at the camera whenever there was a picture being taken.
Every picture's like
but
this.
That's just Champ. Like, that's, sorry, I said his name. I don't know if you want to say his name, but.
Oh, I don't care.
He was always looking away from the camera, but that's just who he was.
He's goofy.
Yeah. He wasn't anything to it.
So I'm looking at the diagnostic criteria and just trying to see, like, because you have a good point. There is a diagnosis and it is real, and there are times when it's
no question. No, I know that, but I was like, what is it?
Okay, so the primary difference between not having a diagnosis and having a diagnosis basically just centers around severity of symptoms. That's really all it is. Yeah. And so what is severity? They talk about a couple things they talk about in this. I'm looking at it right now. Is basically in the DSM. It's talking about inattention, 6 or more of the following symptoms, and there's a whole list of them. Fails to give close attention to details, makes careless mistakes at work, can't sustain attention in tasks, play activities, doesn't seem to listen to when spoken to directly, can't follow through on instructions, can't organize tasks, has poor time management, avoids, dislikes, or is reluctant to engage in tasks that require sustained mental effort like schoolwork or homework, loses things necessary for tasks and activities like pencils, books, tools, easily distracted by external stimuli. See, this is just inattentiveness right there. Hyperactivity and impulsivity, another one. You got to have 6 or more. So it's not easy to get a diagnosis. They're going to listen a whole thing, and you got to have at least 6 of these.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's super easy to get a diagnosis, but it's easy enough that they broaden it to where pretty much a lot of people will fit into this.
See, this makes me think of you talking about the same feed, right? And the feed in my TikTok and all this would be like, you may have been traumatized as a kid if you got one of these 3 or one of these 5 things. And the first was like, if somebody starts yelling and you get uncomfortable, you've been traumatized as a kid. I'm like, everybody gets uncomfortable when somebody's yelling. Yeah. Like, if you don't, you're a sociopath. Like, you're odd. Like, if somebody tries to punch you and you flinch, you may have been traumatized as a kid. I'm like,
right?
Who doesn't flinch when you're like, it's not quite that dumb, but it's basically like that, right? It's like, you may have been traumatized because, when they flick you in the eyeball, your eyeball twitches. Like,
everybody's eyeballs, yeah.
I've seen that with dogs. Like if you act like you're gonna kick a dog and the dog doesn't flinch, then you have a healthy owner. Like, no, every dog's gonna flinch. Like you're gonna act like you're gonna kick somebody. Everybody's gonna be like, whoa.
Right.
Like, that's not a thing.
And it is. There's been a lot of people that have critiqued the DSM for being a checklist. They're like, to your point, it's like, why did we turn people's lives into checklists? It's hard to just center around checklists, especially when you can't quantify a lot of this. These are just behavioral things that happen. Yeah. I always say, and I hate to say it I hate to have to say this, but I say this. Your parents getting a divorce is not trauma. It's not. Watching your mother get shot in the face, that's trauma. I have a client that's the case. Okay? That's trauma. HIPAA. Okay? But no, I actually have more than one client that's the case. How about that?
HIPAAs.
HIPAAs. I mean, I got all kinds of crazy stuff that's happened to clients that I have. That's actual trauma. No, that's actual.
You did this?
Huh?
No, you should. Sorry.
That's actual trauma. Your parents divorcing is not trauma. What's the difference? Longevity of symptoms. Okay? Your parents divorcing, you're going to get over that eventually. It's not easy. It sucks. It's difficult. You're going to internalize it. You have to get over it. I get all that.
But you get 2 Christmases.
That's true. That's true. There's some upsides. But the longevity of symptoms, if you watch something severe that you enough that you actually have trauma, bro, you ain't getting over that anytime soon. Mm-hmm. That's around for a while.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
probably forever.
So, is that the kind of person that needs multiple counseling sessions versus one that only needs one?
You know what? That's a good time to go to. Y'all ready for this?
Y'all ready for this?
Y'all ready for this? Hey, Kenny G, you ready for this? Hey, real quick, before we go there, let's just give shout outs. We got to show some love to our producer and editor, Kenny G. Show some love. Kenny G. Not that Kenny.
You have like a trumpet.
No, our Kenny G. Smooth. SMOOV. Smooth. Kenny G. Showing some love. All right. And then our other producer, who feeds us info.
Big Dog.
Big Nate Dog in the house. Big Nate Dog.
His headphones work so well they don't even need to be plugged in.
They don't even need to be plugged in. He's so good. and then we're hosted by Stephen O'Brien, Allstate Agency at 612 Hartsville Pike in Gallatin, Tennessee 37066. Phone number is 615-442-8688. You like how I did that?
Are you diagnosed?
No, I'm not diagnosed.
What just happened?
That
was all of that. That
What?
was just overwhelming.
You okay? You good?
He's diagnosed.
I got 52 car pickup. All right. So I hate Cincinnati.
Walmart sucks.
Walmart sucks. I got Target.
Kmart sucks.
It's Kmart in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But nobody knows who Kmart is. That's almost 30 years ago.
All right, real quick.
40 years
This is where we go to.
That movie's 40 years old. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's pretty old. Hey, what do we go to? Just the tips.
Oh, we got tips?
Run it, Kenny.
Just the tips. We're giving you just the tips. Just the tips. We're giving you just the tips.
Just the tips of us. We can make it if we can. Sorry.
Just the tips
of us. We can play swords if we try. No.
Yes, we can. You were correct.
All right. So I don't know if that's going to make it to the final cut.
Oh, it's got it. Come on. Don't get rid of that, Kenny.
But we're back from the cool clip that Kenny made for us, our little jingle for just the tips. And Adam just asked a question. So we have actually people that have asked us questions, and we decided to use those as our pro tips tonight. And his question was, and the question we had come in was, how often do people come in for sessions? Is there things that would come in for like one session, or what was the question again?
Or multiple? Yeah, in what scenarios do somebody come in for one session, and which scenarios require multiple sessions?
Okay, so I can answer this hopefully rather shortly, Jonathan, and pass it on to your question.
I'm bored already.
All right,
I'm bored already.
What? Chicken coop.
Chicken coop.
So
I like it. Hey, it's okay. You're just not gonna watch it.
She's never gonna watch it, so it doesn't matter. We can talk about our wives all we want. They're never gonna watch this. I need more bourbon. All right, so
it's not coming out. I don't know why.
It's not coming out. We drank half of that bottle. Pretty good.
Whew. This is not a smooth stag, but it's good. All right. So the answer to your question is there's no such thing as a one session gig. Okay, never happens. Ever, never in a million years.
I was going, okay. That's
no such thing.
That's what I was wondering.
Part of the reason for that, maybe the primary reason for that, is the first session is information gathering. We're just painting a picture. And we're not even getting into therapy or
Are
counseling.
they usually longer than a regular session?
For me, it's typically, yes, I typically go an hour and a half for the first one because I want to get as much information as I can get. I'm getting as much data, as much nuance, I want to paint I want the whole canvas painted before we get out of here.
That's personal training on a smaller level.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
same thing.
Then we get into, by the time we're done, we can go, okay, look, I just got enough info. For right now, let's just pick one thing we want to work on. And let's set a goal. And I'll let them set the goal. I think it's good that they set the goal because it's their own, it produces a sense of autonomy. And they set the goal. And then when we come back, before they come back next time, I've got a list of goals by that point because I've gotten that first session. To answer your question, I have seen couples counseling go as short as 3 sessions, but almost always, it's at least 5, and then sometimes 10 and sometimes 12. Your average, if you ask long-time counselors that have been doing it a lot longer than me, and you ask people at a PhD level, and you ask professors in counseling, they're going to tell you that nothing exists short of 10 sessions. That's what they're going to tell you. And I know why. The reason
Because
is
they want to get paid.
that's part of it, but that's not a big part of it because the people that want to get paid want to keep a client for a year. By the way, we have clients in our office that have been our clients for 3 years. Okay.
Got to make that money.
Those are the good ones.
I don't believe in that, but that's, I don't say I believe in that. I just,
If you need it, you need it. If you don't, you don't. But yeah.
so it's not that I believe in it, but we do have some clients that are
I think there's situations
No,
for it. but I-
severe.
Yeah,
We
I
have,
think there's situations
I just
for it.
gave you 2 clients
Yeah,
that
yeah, no, I think it's for it.
severe.
I think
I'm
there's
saying if
situations
you need
for
it, you
it.
need it. If you don't, you don't. I mean, there's some people that need it, some people that don't. Yeah.
The downside is you just don't want them depending on you. You really don't want them
That's
depending on you.
that's where I think it gets tricky, right?
It does.
That's
It
where it
does.
gets tricky because that's the difference.
Yep.
If you're working towards healing and getting over it, sure. Because you being a military guy, firefighter, been in war, like I'm sure there's some things that guys need a couple of years to get. What they've seen, dealt with, and experienced. Yeah, I could see that being a thing where they need some time, right?
Absolutely.
But to your point, like people that are 35 whose parents got divorced 20 years ago and they're still like, I'm still, that's a problem, right? That's somebody.
It is.
relying
Well,
on.
not just that. You get people that go, okay, I want to book a session. I'm thinking about buying a new pair of shoes. What do you think? And you're like, and by the way, this happens. This is not an exaggeration. And they just come in because they just want to ask you about a normal life decision. And now they're depending on you.
Yeah.
For every little thing they do. And you're like, whoa, tell me. So that's one of the reasons I like to give numbers of sessions. This is when we're starting, this is when we're ending. I want them to see an end goal. I want to see the end. This is the end of when we're going to meet. So we're done at a certain time. I want this to kind of culminate and I want to get to a place. Why? I'm going to give you tools to fix you. I ain't going to fix you. I ain't even trying to fix you. And I'm not responsible for your success. What I'm going to do is help you see a perspective you haven't seen. Maybe give you some tools, depending on the severity of what we're dealing with. But in couples counseling, I'm just giving you perspectives. That's all I'm doing. Have you thought about this? Mm-hmm. Have you thought about this?
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we're doing. I'm not like, it's not anything weird and major. And then, but anyway, to give you an idea, 5 sessions for a couple. If I do, because I always do one with the husband by himself, one with the wife by themselves. And then what usually happens is, because they came in, that happens again. It's usually another husband by himself and then another wife by themselves. And then on the 5th session, we bring them together and now we're talking. But before that 5th session, they were not in a place that they wanted to get in the room and talk about their problems. They were that pissed at each other. And so that's typical. That's a standard. Oftentimes at that 5th, we get to a good place depending on how far along they were. If it's that bad, we go at least another 3. So I hope that answered the question. I
didn't ask it. Our listeners
right.
did.
Yeah. But I mean, the question that was asked.
Thank you.
So there was another question asked, and I guess this one would be for you, JD, because they asked, what is your favorite protein bar and why? Do you have a favorite protein bar?
I do.
Oh, good.
Well,
It's the Bear Bell
Susan.
cookies and cream.
Susan.
No.
I'm not going to say last names. Susan.
my favorite is going to be. Okay, I can tie in
check.
two into here then. My favorite is Built Bar.
But there's a caveat.
There's a caveat, and this is where I'm going to come in and give a little tip, a little thing to look out for. Pro tip. Yeah. So
That's what we're doing.
so if you look at the label and you see something that says, so Built Bar is a great example. It says, what does it say, 14 grams of protein?
It depends.
Or 17?
Some bars are 14, some are 15, some are 17. Yeah.
Of Built?
Depends on the bar.
Built Bar
Different flavors.
protein, it says 17 grams. But if you look at the percentage, and this is, I'm being quick about this. There's more that goes into this.
Hey, you know what? Let's put up a graphic.
So you have the gram. It says 17 grams of protein, but it's the percentage would say like 15%. So it's based of the 2,000 calorie diet, which tells you, the powers that are above us decided that we only need 50 grams of protein. So it's based off 50 grams of protein per day. So if it tells you that if it says 17 grams of protein, but it only says 15%, what is that? I don't know. 15% of 50 is 10. I don't know. 10 grams of protein? Actually, I think that's what Built Bar is, 10 grams of protein. And once you actually do the percentage. So
7.5.
Okay, 7.5. Well, I mean, that was a off the wall.
Sure. Yeah. But if we said 50%, or no, 15% of 50, is that what we said?
Yeah,
if we said 15% of 50, then it would be 7.5.
Right. So you want to base it off the actual percentage.
Thanks, Nate.
So Built Bar in itself, the one I looked up and we figured out, I don't remember what flavor it was, but it was 17 grams of protein. But when you actually did the percentage, it ended up being 10 grams of protein. Yes, it went down. It's not 100% correct with the actual grams of protein, but it's still 10 grams of protein, and the taste is amazing. Now, let me be specific. Built Puff Bars. Those are my favorite ones. You can get the coconut chocolate ones at Costco for like a double pack for a good price. Banana cream is good. They got the peanut butter ones if you like that. The s'more ones we had recently, they were really good. They had churro ones at Buc-ee's. They're good. Like they're all good if you like that. The mint is good. For me, you might
real quick for someone that is on the line of diabetes, which is me and technically all of us. If we think about it, it's kind of genetic. I tend to watch the sugar content in these things. Do you happen to know what those are in that?
I don't.
Okay.
I think it's still a decent amount. Do you know?
That's something I'll watch.
That's why they're good.
Which is why, but it's why I go with like a Bear Bells.
Bear Bells is
almost
good.
No sugar.
So Bear Bell was going to be my second one. I was going to say if you want a 20 gram protein with I think 200 calories, it's a good.
It is right at 200.
That's a good ratio.
So Built Bar is your favorite? Is that what you just said?
Built Bar is my favorite because it tastes the best and it still has 10 grams of protein and 150 calories. Gotcha. So but it tastes really good. The puff ones, and my favorite are probably coconut, but I like a lot of them. But that's probably my favorite. But if you're looking for something with a little more protein and a little better ratio, then yes, Bear Bells is a great one.
Better macros.
It is good, but you taste it.
Mac and cheese.
Macros.
I don't know what a macro.
Macros are a protein,
don't
carb.
Even Mr. Iconoclastic or whatever. You go over here.
I don't know that. This is not my field.
Macros, the opposite of a micro.
Macros include your.
Well, I knew that.
Macros include your protein, carbs, fat, and some people include fiber in that.
Fiber.
Protein, fat, and carbs. Just your typical if somebody says, "Hey, I'm going to go keto diet," that means they're getting rid of all their or not all their carbs, but most of their carbs, and they're just going to be high fat, high protein. Yeah. So that's pretty much what you do. Now, a lot of people put fiber in that too, which I think is very important. But so it's good. Yeah, like you said, he's good macros. Got a good ratio between protein and calories. But you are going to me, the Bear Bell, you're going to taste a little bit of that protein. If there's too much protein,
it's proteiny.
You're going to taste it. Yeah. Now, it's not too bad. I had the cookies and cream. You had something else.
Chocolate dough, which is good.
Yeah, you like chocolate dough. It was good.
Chocolate
dough. Yeah, cookie dough.
Cookie dough. That's what.
Yeah, it was good, and they're good. But you could taste a little bit of that proteiny type, grittiness. I guess I don't know. It's different.
I feel like all of them have that though.
Built Bar doesn't.
But the Built Bar goes back to the macros. It doesn't quite have the protein that it says it does.
It has a little less protein than it says.
There you go. Right. Well, so for instance, the Bear Bells, you see that the cookie dough or any kind of dough is always a flavor because it's protein heavy. because it's thick and it's you throw that in there, you have the expectation. This is a mental trick, by the way, they play, but it's the effect of, oh, I know what I'm getting into. I'm getting into something thick and chewy and like you said, gritty and that type of thing. So I know, like I've got I think 2 of the flavors. One is like a cookie dough and one's a chocolate dough of Bear Bells. And then you get into all this other stuff. I still haven't tried the peanut butter. I keep meaning to. I bet it's amazing.
Peanut butter, no, I tried.
But you know what? You did try it? The Bear Bell?
It was good. No, it was good, but like it had a little bit of it was good. No, give me. I mean, if you like Bear Bell, get the peanut butter. It was good.
Well, but listen, I did the one bar.
You're not getting a candy bar.
Exactly.
That's true.
You are getting
That's
protein
true.
bar.
But I did but look.
Sorry, Kenny.
I did the one bar. They went in business with Reese's.
One bar is good too, but one bar is a little more like they're like 250 calories for 10 grams protein.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
It's not quite the 10 to 1.
They're a little off balance.
Well, that's the one
But
that
they
they went
taste
into
good.
business with Reese's, and they use actual Reese's.
Yeah.
For their
And that's a good
for their
bar.
peanut butter bar.
I have had that, and it's good.
Holy
Yeah,
moly,
White
it's
just got
good.
one.
It's so good.
But-
It's 250 with 18 grams.
But it's a little.
What is it?
It's a little off.
The Reese's one bar is
Oh.
250 calories and 18 grams
18 grams
protein.
of protein. So that's not terrible.
Something to that
Actually, that's
effect.
not terrible. I thought it was worse than that, but that's
No.
not bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't way bad, but it
Yeah.
wasn't 10 to 1. I always like 10 to 1.
Yeah, 10
if
to
I'm
1's
looking, for me, if it's
Well,
high,
okay,
it can't
10
be
I'm
high
sorry.
protein.
What
10,
is that?
10
Explain it.
calories for every 1 gram of protein for every 10 calories.
Yeah.
So a 100 calorie item has 10 grams of protein. That's 10 to 1.
Gotcha. Okay.
Bear Bell's 10 to 1. 200 calories, 20 grams of protein. It's
Gotcha.
right at 10 to 1.
Gotcha.
That to me, if anything less than that is not high protein. No, it's got protein in it, but it's not high protein.
Peanut
to me,
butter.
high protein.
Peanut butter, eggs. They're not a protein. They're not high protein.
Yeah, because you got more than 10 to 1.
Now eat eggs. Those are
Oh,
great.
because there's a lot more. Yeah,
Vitamins
fat
and minerals
yeah.
and healthy fat and
Good
cholesterol,
fats,
all
yeah.
that good stuff. But anyway,
Okay.
protein bars. Yes, Built Bar is my favorite bar. My favorite one. And they have several. Like I said, you can get them at Costco.
Oh, yeah.
Costco for like the big
everywhere.
packs of Costco, but you can get them online for. They always have deals. He sent me one today. They always have deals going on that you can get half off or 20% off or whatever.
Okay.
So yeah,
Good stuff. That's good. Last pro tip, and I'm assuming this one's for you, Adam. This one came from Terry. Don't back it up, Terry. If Terry's watching, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend
Teresa.
but that's so funny.
Back it up, Terry.
How should I talk to my children about AI? Is it really as scary as people say? So I think what they mean by this one, and I'm going to guess, is that AI, for instance, okay, so we recently had a case where a kid asked it if it should commit suicide, and it helped him figure it out, and he went and committed suicide. And so AI, ChatGPT is being sued because of this. They've, of course, since updated their, from what I've understood, I read that they updated their sort of, it's the thing that just agrees with you all the time. And so it was just affirming whatever the guy was feeling, and the guy was feeling suicidal, so it was just affirming that and rolling with it, which pushed him into the place where he ended up committing suicide and went all the way in. If I'm guessing, if somebody's saying scary, I'm guessing they're thinking something along those lines. Also along the lines of coming from a therapist, there's a lot of people talking about how AI is going to replace therapy. And when that story came out, everyone went, no, it's not. So you still have to have that human element. So I guess there's some scary elements that people are out there thinking, particularly mothers. This one, I guess, came from a mother. It was Terri, by the way, Terry. And so how should I talk to my children about AI, and is it as scary as people say?
See, I had a joke lined up, and you talked about suicide. Now the joke is inappropriate.
Well, that was a story that everybody knows about. So roll with it.
Artificial intelligence. It's artificial. It ain't real. Don't worry about it.
Oh, well,
But here's the deal. So artificial AI.
Everybody's heard that story, so that's not a big deal.
Well, AI has multiple reasons. One, it's pulling from data that it can pull from the internet. That's all it's doing, right? So and data that it's gathering. So I use it for coding. I code. I try to use it, and it won't work. It gives me a code, doesn't quite work. I'll give it reasons why. Like, oh, it's giving me this error. We go back and forth. Finally, we come up with the answer. Or sometimes it can't find the answer. It keeps BSing its way through because it'll always try to give you what it thinks is an answer. Once I find the answer, I'll go back and tell it, oh, the answer is this. And the reason I'm doing that is to provide data. Now it has that data. So if somebody else comes with the same problem I had, it now has that data to say, oh, wait, no, it's this is the answer.
That's good.
So it's gathering.
Are you seeing that?
I don't see it on my end necessarily.
Reciprocally?
Not necessarily. I can't say that I've seen that. Maybe I don't know if I do. Right? Because maybe sometimes it does give me an answer.
Right, then you just
then I go, okay, cool. It gave me the
Right,
answer.
yeah.
So it pulls information from the internet, and then it pulls information that it's learning, because that's part of the intelligence part. So that's what makes it intelligent, is it learns. If it's just regurgitating stuff, then it's a search engine. But it learns, and that's the intelligent part of it. So that's why I personally will give it the answer if it didn't give me the right answer and I found it on my own. Then I'll come back and say, oh, here's the answer. Here's what the answer was to this situation, so that it has that info. So and also teaches it how to process the issues the issue that I'm running into. Meaning, sometimes is your computer plugged in? Right, it ain't going to ask you, are you computer plugged in? And I use that as an example of some simplified answer. So sometimes it will teach it, hey, maybe we should go back to the easiest answer first. What's the simplest question? So it's learning. Now here's the facet. Here's the biggest thing, and people don't need to know. AI is data farming. That's Google, Facebook, Twitter, or X. All of them data farm. They want your data. They want your information. That's where the money is. So it wants your data. That's why it asks you questions. If you ever hit these chat GPTs and you ask questions, it'll always come back with, do you want me to do X, Y, Z? Or do you want me to do this? Or do you want me? It wants to keep you engaged because it wants to keep you talking. And it wants to keep you giving it information. It's data farming. Wants information. And you mentioned it always wants to affirm. It's taught to affirm. Because if it's a jerk to you, you're not going to keep talking, right? It's going to come back with witty or something to try to keep you engaged. It wants you talking so they can get more information, so they can take your data and use whatever they want to with it to make them money. The root of all evil is money. So
the love of money is the
root
root of all evil.
Of all evil is money.
That's not what the Bible said.
No, it is the love of money. But because that's what it boils down to. Because people want, everything starts off.
If you're not paying for the product, you are the product.
It started everything to me, and I'm kind of cynical when it comes to it. Everything starts off with a reasonable or a good expectation and gets perverted by the love of money. Everything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Counseling started off because somebody said, hey, this person needs to process something. Great. Oh, wait, I can make money off of this if they keep coming every day for the rest of their lives?
Yep.
Sweet. That's the perversion.
We call it annuities. We look at we look at clients as annuities.
Yeah, and I look at, I mentioned counseling.
I say we, I don't mean we, but
everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's everything. So that's the bottom line. And so it's going to give you answers it thinks you want to hear in order to keep gauging. So if you come and say, how do I kill myself? It's going to tell you because it thinks, well, they want me to tell you how to kill yourself. So I'm going to teach you how to do this because I want to keep going. Well, it ain't smart to know that if you kill yourself, you're done, right? Like,
right.
Not to be callous about the
sure, but yeah,
right?
yeah.
But that's the point, right? It's artificial. That's the artificial side of it.
Right.
So it is what it is. It's a machine. It's a tool. I love it for my job when I'm coding. I'm not going to ask it philosophical questions, or I may just for fun because I think it's hilarious because it comes up with stupid stuff.
I'll say this: it helps me narrow down.
It can. No,
my manual is like, I don't know how many pages, but like over 1,000 pages, and for diagnostics. And I'll say, here's the symptoms, and it'll go, it could be one of these five.
No question.
That gets me in the neighborhood, and then I go back to my manual and I investigate those 5 symptoms, and I go, oh yeah, this is starting to get somewhere. It just helps me. It just speeds the process up for me.
Sure.
I still do my own research. I still find from the actual source, and then I don't know if you're how aware you are of this, but I love Notebook LM, which is Google's language model. Mm-hmm. Their language model,
it's a natural language model. Yeah.
Right. Well, because you put in what it only reads what you put in.
Yeah.
Which I thought, well, that's cool. So what I've done for basketball, I put in the rule book. I put in a 25-26 rule book in the case book. And now when I ask it a question about a rule in basketball, it only is looking at that rule book. It's not looking at an old rule book. Yeah. It's not looking at FIBA or any other league.
It doesn't search everything.
Right.
Yeah.
It's only looking at that rule book. And I'm like, this is awesome. So I've built one for counseling where I put in I put in the CBT manual, which is like a type of therapy. I put in techniques of counseling. I put in just really foundational things that I know are good, and I enter that, and it only reads that. So anyway, I like it, that kind of thing.
Parents being afraid of AI or parents that are trying to offload their kids' raising to other things. People used to complain about kids being on iPads. Every one of my kids have had iPads, right? My two teenagers have phones. like they all have some device. Are they iPad kids? No, because I've taught them it's a tool, and I'm not going to hide my kids away from technology until they're 18, and all of a sudden they get overloaded with all this technology they never saw their entire lives. Yeah. They got to learn how to manage technology in their everyday lives now. It's just a thing. Now, does that mean I just give it to them and tell them, all right, figure it out? No, I put limits on their devices. I limit how much they can do things. I monitor, I do all that. And as they get older, more and more is released to them as they show that they can handle it, because that's what you do with kids. You teach them how to do things, and then you give it, But it's a tool. And so if you teach them, it's a tool. Like, everything's a tool. Let it be a tool. Use it as a tool. Right? You use a hammer, it's great to build a house. Use a hammer on somebody's head, that's bad. Like, so recognize the tools can be bad, the tools can be good. Use them for good, use them right, and that's it. I think people glorify things because they try to or try to, I can't think of the right word, but they try to give away their responsibility as a parent to something
Abdicate.
else. Yeah. And so, like, I don't want to raise my kid. Let AI do it. Like,
I follow a child development researcher really closely, and she talks a lot about things like this. And she talked about child development, and in child development research, what they found was she said the same thing. She said this technology is not going anywhere. You might as well introduce it to them. She goes, but how do you introduce it to them? And she was talking about like small kids, like 3 and 4 years old. She said, you start out with smaller amounts of time frame, and then but not only that, make sure they're watching at that age, 3, 4, you make sure they're watching something educational, and if you can, you watch it with them. She goes, if you'll watch an educational show with your child on an iPad, you've done a few things. One, you regulate what it is they're watching, so you know exactly what's happening, and you get to interact with them in that educational format. And 2, they understand that that's the norm. The norm is that they're watching educational information and they're gaining something from it, and that's their norm now. And so they don't have a norm of just doom scrolling YouTube clips. Yeah. Their norm is that I'm watching something that my parents approve of, and then that builds something. So then when they're 6, 7, 8, you don't have to do that anymore as much. You still could and probably should, but you don't have to, because now they've built that norm. This is from child development research, dude. And so I thought that was interesting, because I would have been one to say never, but that's because they didn't have iPads when I was raising kids, so I don't know. And when I read what she had to say about that, and what child development research says about that, I thought that's fascinating. It's like, yes, introduce it, bring it, and like she said the same thing you just said, where it was increments. So as they get older, you give them more, over time, which builds autonomy, builds trust. Sure, it builds all that stuff over time. I thought that was fascinating from a research standpoint.
One thing I'll add to that, and this is for Mr. 8-month-old kid dad over here. Mm-hmm. I made the mistake early on of allowing it to be a reward. Like, you do this, then you have more iPad time. And that was a mistake, because then it was like, okay, y'all need to go outside. And they come inside after 15 minutes. Like, I've been outside for 15 minutes. I need 15 minutes of iPad time. And I realized, that was a mistake. Like, that can't be a reward. That can just be something, right?
That's strong.
Because when we were kids, you and I remember it distinctly, NES was a big thing, right? We loved the Nintendo. But we played it when it was freezing, when it was raining, when we couldn't be outside. Like, that was that was a fallback. Was the video game system was a fallback from not being able to be outside. Like, that was our goal. Our goal was to be outside. And I say us. You were much younger. Probably was the same for you, but I could say for us specifically. It was. But now kids, it's like the end game is the video game. And that if they have to go outside, it's like, okay, I'm going outside while I have to until I can get back inside. And so I made the mistake early on. So the younger ones, I've tried to change that mentality of it's not a reward. It's just something that you can do later. But you're not going to be able to do, if you do enough outside time, then you get video game time. And I that was a mistake.
That's super strong, by the way. I know.
That's, like I said, that's a mistake I made.
No, that's strong.
From my perspective, I don't know. Jenna grew up on a farm, and so she is like anti-technology. But I am like you. I'm like, well, they still need it. Like, I'm a fire inspector. If I didn't know something, I wouldn't. I was a firefighter, and then the day I became a fire inspector, they handed me an iPad and said, "This is where everything's on an iPad now." And I was like, if I didn't know something, I'd have been lost. At least I knew how to navigate it.
It's not going anywhere.
And so I was glad that at least I knew something. Mm-hmm. I knew technology well enough to know how to navigate this and how to figure this out. Mm-hmm. So I know on some level that Levi's going to need to know that. And so I think there's going to be a good between me and Jenna. Like, she wants him to be outside 100% of the time. which is great.
Which I think is necessary.
Right.
Really.
But
Not 100%. Yeah.
because she grew up on a farm, she grew
Sure.
up from East or West Tennessee.
Kids don't get enough vitamin D.
That's
man.
that's her life, where she grew up, and I think it's good also that he learns the way the world works.
So that's the perfect balance, which y'all just talked about. Was that here's the thing: technology is not going anywhere. AI is not going anywhere. We might as well learn how to make it beneficial to us and regulate it. And then the last piece I'll touch on, and we gotta wrap up, but is when you talked about rewarding, and this goes back to your coming up on what you're about to kind of walk into, is when you're rewarding from a psychological standpoint. When you're rewarding, you got to remember what you're rewarding with, and then fast forward to them being age 30. And that's how you do it. If you do it that way, then you'll get it. So if you're rewarding, for instance, for devices have overwhelming amounts of dopamine, similar to, we found research shows that a like on a Facebook like, an Instagram like, a snap gives you the same amount of dopamine as a cigarette, a drink of alcohol, a gambling win. It's the same amount of dopamine, which means it's too much. It hits the dopamine receptors and goes whoom, and it just overloads the dopamine. Whereas if you get a dopamine hit because you finished the front yard, mowing the front yard, that dopamine hit is not too much. That's in balance. It keeps you in homeostasis. So here's why I go with that. He just...
I didn't even say a word. I didn't make a face.
He did. He just looked. I just knew I knew.
He said homo.
Homo. Stasis.
Homo.
Okay. So
Homeo.
Wherefore art thou, homeostasis? I'm stasis and right here. Sorry.
I gotta pee. I'm gonna pee my pants.
I'm going fishing 3 times. Shut up. If I'm talking to young parents, I often say, remember, if you're going to reward them with something that they're going to need to turn back to that's healthy when they're age 30 and life hits them. Mm-hmm. So instead of, hey, if you're good, I'll stop and get you a pack of candy. Nope. If you're good, I'll take you to the trampoline park. If you're good, I'll let you go ride a bike at the park. I will take our bike and we'll go down to the park and let you ride. Something that produced physical endorphins and dopamine.
Yeah.
And then when they're 30 and life gets hard, they want to go work out, not go grab a bag of candy.
Yeah.
See, no matter what that is, and to your point, I think devices fit into that. I think they're good, but if we use them as rewards, then we're rewarding them with something that overloads the dopamine, and it takes the pleasure-pain balance out of whack. Yeah. And now we've rewarded them with something that they're going to turn to when they're 30 and life hits them. They're just going to go, that's what they're going to want to do, and that's only going to hurt them. But presenting it as a tool that's not going anywhere is ginormous, and it's necessary, I think. So.
Now, I'm never against somebody who doesn't want to necessarily have their kids do it early or whatever. Like, every parent's different, every kid's different,
sure,
everything's different. I've never subscribed to every kid should have an iPad by 6, and every kid should, everything's different, and like that's, and I don't want to appear that way because I'm saying, like, for my kids were playing with devices at 2 and 3. Some of it was we didn't understand it all at that time. That was 12, 13 years ago, right? And so we have some more understanding of what it all does. Mm-hmm. And so some people may decide, I don't want my kid touching a device at 2. That's great. I have no problem with that. Like, I don't want to come across as somebody that says I'm judging you because you don't let your kid touch an iPad.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
everybody's different.
Yeah,
and for to be real, every kid's different.
Every one of them. I got 4 kids, and I raise them differently.
You just can't. I tell people all the time that have multiple kids. They're like, well, I do this with my kids. I'm like, time out.
There's foundational truths that I teach my kid. Jesus is king. Don't be a jerk. You're going to work for a living. Like, I mean, and those are kind of basic, generic, goofy things other than Jesus that I'm throwing out there. But at the end of the day, there's foundational truths. But at the end of the day, I raise my 4 boys differently. Mm-hmm. They all 4 have different motivations. They have different desires. They have different everything almost. Like, it's fascinating. And so I cannot raise them with the same mentality. I can't give them the same direction. Again, out of the foundational truths.
Yeah.
That's leading in general.
Yeah.
I got guys at work that one guy, I can yell at him and go, you need to do this right. And they go, yeah, you're right. But another guy, I go, hey, man, I think you need to do this a little better. Yeah, a little softer. And he's like, all right, I got you. If I yelled at that guy, he would be like, "I'm out." Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It's
And if
just-
you're soft with the other guy, he won't respect
exactly. If you say, "Hey, man, you
Exactly.
need to do this,"
He
he'd
won't
be
listen.
like, "I'm out."
Dude.
He wouldn't even listen to me. He'd be
Yeah.
going one ear out the other.
Dude, if I needed Rainey to do something, I had to threaten her within an inch of her life.
Yeah.
Maddie, I could go. And she'd go, "Stop, Dad." I mean, it was over. It
Yeah,
was over.
yeah.
I didn't need to do anything else. She didn't
Yeah.
want to disappoint me. Rainey didn't care. Rainey was on. She needed you to, I had to threaten her. It was
Right.
different. They react to
different,
different
yeah.
things and the way they respond to different things. That's fascinating. So, all right, you ready?
Let's do it. Let's hear that story, bro.
The buckle up. You ready for this one? All right, so we're gonna close out with a
I feel like I'm
story.
getting picked on again.
I know, it's okay. We're going to close out with a story. So when Jonathan was younger, how old were you when you had long hair? You had like you
I
were
had
like
long hair.
7?
No, I was like second grade all the way up.
Which
So
is
maybe
about-
7.
about
Yeah,
6,
you're
7,
right.
8.
Long.
All the way up to my 14th birthday. You took me to get my hair cut.
Yeah. So
I don't know why 14.
so for reference, I'm 12 years older than him. So when I was driving, he was 4 basically. So when I was 16, he was 4. And so by the time he was actually it was more like 6 probably, that I was probably like 17, 18 years old. Somewhere around there, I had somehow, this is just one particular story that has 2 facets to it, but I'll try to tell it quick because we've run over. I have to go get a replacement license for some reason, but I have to go to that place where we got our license back in the day on the corner of Donaldson and Murfreesboro Road, Donaldson Pike Murfreesboro Road. I had to go there to get my license, another copy. Was this back before the days where you can just click a couple buttons and they mail you a copy? You couldn't do that.
There was
back.
no internet.
There was no such thing as the
but it
interweb.
was very-
So I had to go down there. Well, Jonathan wasn't busy, and he was like 5 or 6 years old. I was like, "Hey, you want?" He didn't have a whole lot going on.
He wasn't busy. He was 5.
He didn't have a lot
Between
going
his
on.
Lego building and his thumb twiddling, he had time.
Thumb twiddling.
Thumb twiddling because 5-year-olds go,
You know what? I got time. I can break from this.
"Hang on, let me fit this in my schedule. I'm about done. Let me 10 more seconds."
I love it. He's like, he didn't have time. I'm like, he's 5. What is he doing? He ain't even in school yet.
He didn't have a lot going on. So
I was learning to wipe my butt at that point. I was like,
he was like, "Y'all check this out. I just wiped and it's fun."
I can learn that later.
I am no longer eating Gerber right now, people. This is cool, but I still don't know what to do with my hands. All right, so we go. He goes with me to get a new copy. I know. We got Adam's Ticklebone. That don't have a lot. So this is fun.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just lost.
So we go to get a copy of my driver's license. And while I go to fill the form out, and I got to go into this room, and this room's got like a handful of chairs, we'll say 10 or 15 chairs, and everybody's sitting in a chair. Me and Jonathan sit down. All of us are taking up a chair. A guy comes into the room to come sit down to wait on his license. Jonathan notices it. He's been raised by the same dad we've all been raised by, which is, you're a child, get up out of your seat. Without saying a word, Jonathan jumps up and kneels down next to me, knowing that he should probably yield that chair to an adult. So far, so good. The guy looks and goes, "Oh no, she's okay. She can sit there." and to Jonathan's credit, he goes like this. He goes, "Let me see if I can do this in the camera." Jonathan goes like this. And he looks up at me with this look like, "Can you believe that cracker said that?" He gives me this look like, and I look at him and I go, "It's all right." He's like, "Oh no." It's like, "Good. All right." So dude, that happens, and we eventually, I don't remember what happened. It doesn't matter. We leave. I finally get my license. We leave. From there, we leave. We pull out of the driveway and we go to Taco Bell on Donaldson Pike, on my little McGavick peeps. You know exactly where that's at. And we get to Taco Bell on Donaldson Pike, and I think, man, he's hung out with me. I'm gonna get him something to eat. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a nice little, get a little Taco Bell and hang out, because Taco Bell's fun when you're 5 and don't have anything else to do. So we
I can fit it in my schedule.
we could fit in
My 5-year-old schedule.
yeah, and you're gonna fit pooping in your schedule a little while after that too. So here we go. So we get into Taco. So we get into Taco Bell. I order, And the lady trying to be sweet looks over at Jonathan and goes, well, what does she have? And I looked at Jonathan, and of course Jonathan goes, and he just looks up at me like, you gotta be kidding me. 2 times in 20 minutes. Poor Jonathan got the girl thing all the time with that long hair. He was pretty.
You know what's crazy?
He pretty.
Still gets it today.
He's still pretty. Yeah, well, yeah, he does.
Hey,
He was pretty. I mean,
I'll
pretty.
say,
It's Hanson's drummer.
I was gonna say I saw some old videos. I was like, I was a cute kid. I don't know what happened.
You're pretty.
I don't know what happened.
But yeah, no, I was. I don't know what happened, but I took that to my advantage. I went out with like the basketball team. We all went out after the season, and I walked up and they were like, "Oh, girls first," and they handed out the Cokes, and I was like, "Yep, see y'all later, appreciate you," and walked off. Like, you know what? Eventually you gotta take it to your advantage. Girls, ladies first. Yep, I appreciate you. Give me my Coke. Thank you. I'll see y'all later. It was all boys team.
Yeah. It was like, wait a minute.
It was a boys' league.
It was a boys' league, and they get ladies first.
This is back when
Thank
girls
you.
played in boy sports.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember you like some lady tried to keep you from going into the boys' bathroom because she was like, she grabbed you and was like, "Oh no, that's the boys' bathroom," and you're like, "Yeah, I'm a boy."
I remember that vaguely.
Wow.
I remember doing a 3-point contest. Were you there for that?
Yeah.
When I was, it was at a fair or something. I don't know. And then the lady was like, I was making them. The first one, I hit every single one of them. I was drilling them, and she was like, "You go, girl, you go!" And I heard it.
So awesome.
And I was like, "Oh man."
You went like this.
I got that a lot. I had hair. I had long hair all the way up to 14. When it got my hair's thick. All hair's thick. Yeah. Got too thick for being long. So
I remember Wellesley Ann telling you, "Don't be upset. Yeah. If you're gonna have long hair, people are gonna mistake it. You have to get over it." And she told you that.
And to his credit, and I remember clearly because again, I was 16, 17, 18 years old. He handled it like a pro.
Oh yeah,
like a pro. I mean, like a lot of little kids get all, they get whatever. He did not do that at all. He handled it like an absolute pro every single day. Because I was 16 thinking, should I punch this dude on behalf of my little brother? And then he'd go and be like, "No, we're good. Like, it's all good." Like he's grinning.
Except for the time he drew on the pictures because he got mad at Nate. So he drew long hair on Nate.
That's right.
Drew a mustache on himself.
They called me a girl, so I drew every picture I could find. Nate had long hair, and I had a mustache. Every single one.
And what's funny now is it looks like dog ears on Nate.
I regret that. Yeah, it does look funny.
Like fluffy dog ears.
No, those are the stories that make the moment. Like, if without that story, it's just another boring Beaver Cleaver family, which we are anything but.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love stuff like that. That's what makes it fascinating to me. All right, I just hit the table. Kenny told me not to hit the table. Sorry, Kenny. Man, y'all hit the table a lot. That's what he said. He's like, y'all hit the. We do.
Sorry, we get excited.
Look, here. Okay, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, we do get excited. All right, GP. Here's the deal. Do me a huge favor. Subscribe, like, tell your friends, get the word out. We're trying to get more subscribers on YouTube. Why? Because we think what we're saying is interesting, but maybe you don't. I don't know, but we think it's interesting. We're fascinated by it. I don't know what y'all think. Stay classy, GP. Have a good one. Until next time.
Buns, ties, feet
Feet times,
I
I made it.